Hey everybody, New Death Gaming here, and Mike, and my very good friend, Mr. Aaron Spelker. Aaron.
Hello. Hello.
So, I know, Aaron's in the house, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're doing a co-let's play. We're Aaron and me are trying to coin this thing a little bit.
Trademarked, you can't take it.
You can't steal it. IPO. So yeah, we're playing Lost Vault. I mean, I know all of you are like, Michael, Lost Vault again. Yeah, well, I love this game. It's really the only MMO, right? We have, right? That is accessible.
Well, for me, you're the one who turned me on to this game because back when I interviewed you for my channel, you were like, "Oh, I'm playing this new game," and I said, "Oh, well, let me check it out." And now I'm 30 levels deep in, and we're tribe members together. So like I'm a convert, most definitely.
Yeah, you've been made a disciple of the Almighty Duff, new of Duff. Yeah, no, the cult. Join the cult, folks. Join Tribe Blind for those who are disabled, visually impaired. We'll give you special preference. Blindness, you'll get, special credits. Just kidding, folks. Obviously, our tribe definitely is a supporter of those with disabilities. And Aaron, why don't you throw some shout outs about yourself and what you do and everything, just in case people don't know. I don't know why they don't know because I mention you in all my videos. So
I know, dude, because you quite frequently mention me, so thank you. Yeah, so I'm Aaron Spelker, and I run a Facebook group that is dedicated to finding accessible games for people who are blind and visually impaired. It used to be called a very long name, which was the Apple, iPhone, iOS voiceover compatible games, but just yesterday we changed our name to the much shorter Mobile Accessible Games, which flows a lot better. So
MAG.
MAG. So you can find us at Mobile Accessible Games on Facebook, as well as Twitter, and and then we have weekly reviews of accessible games that go out. Every Sunday we post those, and every Wednesday we interview someone, whether it be a game developer or an accessibility influencer or an accessibility advocate, all around accessible gaming. So we do that post those out every Wednesday. So a lot of content. It's a pretty good community, about 1,600 blind and visually impaired gamers, and who are talking about games that they're finding and playing and loving.
And you all literally cover, what kind of games do y'all cover? Like, what's the big talking points right now in the community of MAG right now?
Coverage is, I really try to cover the spectrum, right? So we have about 94 games that have been reviewed. We started a year ago. So in the past year, I've reviewed 94 games, and I have probably 18 to 19 different genres across those 90 games. So I really try to, really spread it around, because when someone comes to the group, they're not going to be all RPG lovers. There's going to be somebody who likes audio games or word games or, math games. So I want to make sure that when someone comes to the group, they can go to the list and find something for them on that list. So we really try to find, all sorts of different genres. I'm really excited when I find the genre I haven't covered before of an accessible game, because that, again, for me, it means someone's going to go and that's going to be the game that they like. So we cover, a real wide variety of games.
Non-RPG, non-JRPG, sacrilegious.
Yes, exactly.
Just kidding.
Well, that is my, RPGs are my favorite. A Lost Vault type of game. That's my type of game. I struggle on some genres. I won't say which ones, but I make sure to cover them and play them and review them for those who do love those games.
Oh yeah, definitely. Love your channel on YouTube, folks. It's in my description. My primary description has Aaron's channel and Aaron's Facebook group. I'll double check that. For sure, it's your YouTube channel in there. I will double check to make sure your Facebook group is also listed in there. I really need to redo my whole main channel description. Like, I have sub-channel descriptions. Like, I have a sub-channel description for my vacation vlogs. Like, I just did a recent one, Santa Cruz. Amazingly, Santa Cruz, not that accessible. but still fun. Yeah, you gotta watch that one. Yeah, something about bumper cars and no blind people allowed. Weird, very weird. But yeah, I really want y'all to definitely go subscribe to Aaron. Please go there, leave comments. Listen, he is interviewing a lot of important people, the most important people in the developing community for the games that we all play as visually impaired, blind, visually impaired, visually diverse, people with disabilities. He is taking care of our community, and I definitely want to say thank you very much for everything that you do, and thank you for joining my tribe.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me. I texted you, and I was glad you accepted me. Like,
Exactly.
please take me in.
Now that you serve me, new Lord New Death.
Exactly. You're my chief.
I wonder why we have. I want to. You know, I've got to talk. I'm trying to think of the developer's name of Lost Vault.
Camille.
Camille Wachowski. And you know what's really funny? I practiced his name about 25 times in a row. I had it down, Wachowski. I could spell it backwards and forward, but now I've forgotten how to spell his last name. But Camille is amazing, and Camille Wachowski is the developer. And I'm sorry, Camille, if I butchered your last name, but we'll solve that when we're on the phone and chilling and chatting, and we get you and Aaron and some interviews, and you throw me in the mix, and we'll get all that all settled.
Camille, if you're listening, I want to interview you for my accessibility interview series. So
yes, and then also to expose you to MAG, where there's potentially 1,600 more players, exactly. All buying the Aaron, all buying the extra backpack slot. For both for their characters.
I did. I needed those 5 extra slots early.
Oh God, you've got to get yeah, folks. If you are a Lost Vault player, you've got to get that backpack slot. By the way, you get nothing. If your backpack is full, you get nothing.
Yes.
Goodbye. That potentially legendaries, epics, pets.
Oh, I'm at epics right now. I haven't gotten any legendaries yet.
That's right.
Level 32. Level 32.
Wait, you're doing good. You know what? You started off lower than my other character, and you passed him, and you kept going. You're really quick.
It's really like a ritual now. So I don't know how everybody else's works, but my water refresh times are at perfect times, 8 in the morning and 8 at night. And
you know what's up.
Yeah, I wake up, I get my kids out the door, if they're going to school or camp or whatever, and then I'm like, all right, I got to clear out, do my Lost Vault for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, depending on whether I have some gear to upgrade. And then at the end of the night, dinner's done, we're sitting around watching TV and watching the news, and I'm like doing some Lost Vault and doing my second 45 minutes to an hour at the end of the night. So twice a day, perfect times. And bang it out.
Oh, and that's exactly what I do. I do bang it out real quick, but then I also get lost in the matrix of Lost Vault because I'm sitting there playing. I'm having my gym play day. I have my gym play dates where I basically don't sell or recycle any gyms, and I upgrade all of them to max level, which takes about 2 hours because it's a long.
So like
process.
level 10?
No. Basically, you start with your gyms at whatever level, they're at uncommon level, and you keep combining them until they're at max level, until they're at legendary level, at your max level. Does
that happen to you where but then you get I have one now that's it's an uncommon, I combined some uncommons, but it didn't jump up to rare, and so I have an uncommon that's 183 luck, level 35 when I'm 32. I'm like, I gotta just sell this thing. This thing's worthless.
No, sell it. You over upgraded it. So yes. Yeah. I will do a video on that. So okay, here's what happens. Camille never said, Camille, we love you, but come on, Camille. The idiosyncrasies of Lost Vault, folks, is deep. But you can over upgrade a gym and it gets a quality called shiny. Now, yes. And you won't hear that unless you have audio Okay, so check this out, Aaron. So I had this really snarky subscriber. And I hope they're still subscribed. I'm not trying to be, mean and stuff, but I had this super snarky subscriber who was like, turn off your audio verbiage from your descriptions of the items with voiceover. I don't want to turn that off because that actually gives you tons of extra information.
Yeah.
And I talked to Camille and he's like, yeah, it should tell you what the gem looks like. If it's made it to shiny, it won't go no more. I'm like, Camille, can we get you on record stating this stuff? So we need to know this stuff because I'm sitting there
tiny. It goes like tiny, small, shiny.
Tiny, small, regular, no word, then shiny.
Okay.
There's no that's another invisible one.
Invisible, okay.
So no. After tiny, it says nothing.
Right,
it has no different. Okay, no. After tiny, it's small. After small, it's just regular.
Blank, right? But that's a level.
That's a level, but shouldn't it say regular?
Yeah, it's something.
And then it's shiny. Okay, guess what? There's another level. I hate to throw this out there. It's something weird called rich or porous or something super weird. It starts appearing once you hit level 40s.
I was gonna say I haven't heard that one.
Oh, it's coming. You're gonna hit this one. This is higher than shiny. So if you combine this gem with another typically good gem, you just lost that other gem because it's gonna swallow that gem and do nothing.
So porous is a bad thing. Well,
it's a great thing if you get two of them together and combine them. And by the way, I didn't get the perfect spelling. I need to bring my rotor down and do. It's weird how Samantha is pronouncing it. I like to say I have my speaking rate at 95%, which I better lower now while you remind myself.
I can't do 95%. I'm a 75% guy, but I'm only 3 years blind, so I started at 50. I'm up to 75 now, so maybe.
You'll be at 100% soon. Okay,
it starts getting me agita. It starts getting me anxious when she's talking so fast.
Yeah, when it goes really fast until your brain hears it, your brain will. Okay, so when I moved up to 95, every time you move up, it's like going back to day one. Yeah. So you now can't hear it perfectly. Once you get used to a speed, you hear it perfectly. This is my own personal experience. So this is my anecdotal experience. Every time I move up by 5, it's like I'm on day one of being blind. Like back in I'm back to 2016 when I lost my sight. I'm like, what is this? This speed's too. I had my speed. A little short story. I had my speed at 45, and Sweetie Belle, she was like, that's a little slow.
Yeah, it's like molasses. That's painful as well. I have a tight range. Tight range is 65 to 75. Depending on my mood. 45 is like, come on, let's go.
My instructor. I went to a training center, name not to be mentioned, because we have I love my training center, but I just mean we have what's that thing they tell you when you're
non-disclosure agreement?
Non-disclosure agreement. I am known as I can be a bit of a controversial YouTuber. So we have a non-disclosure agreement, but they actually train me. So sorry that you have to have me, but you have me. But anyway, there is a trainer there I loved, and this trainer's name starts with a C. So his pronouns, he's a he, him. So he'll know who I'm talking about. Okay. So he was looking at my speaking rate, and he's like, Michael, it's like, I can't deal with it anymore. Right. So he comes over and he says, may I? I said, you may. And he turns his speaking rate up to 50, and he goes, this is bearable. And I
find, I'll tell you this, the one thing about going blind, I realize, what was I doing listening to podcasts at normal speed or a book at normal speed? How many hours did I waste? Not listen to that at 1.5 times or 2 times. I wasted hours and hours listening to things at normal speed.
Yeah, when you could just speed it up if you really need to if you need to read a bill or you need to read the very boring statements from Medicare. Just sit there, get through it super fast. Yeah.
Even like a TV show, it's funny. I listen to a TV show on normal speed, with my wife. Something that I watched, at 1.5 or 2 times speed. I'm like, oh, their voice is a lot lower than I thought it was. Because it's a little pitches up a little bit when you're going so fast. But it's kind of almost a little painful to watch something with my wife because I'm like, we could be done by now. I could be on episode 3. Let's go.
Have you found yourself as a blind person nodding off a lot more when it comes to shows, especially when I love kids, but when kids start talking and it's super slow connections, and it's like, and we're not talking about any developmental delays. We're just saying normal speech because we're used to things going super fast.
I nod off when a commercial comes. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's, I gotta wait. In that, a minute and a half to 3 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm not engrossed in the story. Sleep. The one that kept me awake literally all night. I watched. Did you watch Ozark?
I haven't watched Ozark. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Good,
okay,
and
I have to check it out.
I literally did not sleep. I twice in 1 week I stayed up all night because I was just so engrossed and never got tired. Did you do
the whole season? Did you?
I banged out the thing. Me and my wife went on a trip to Cancun, and I was like, oh well, let me just watch an episode or 2 of Ozark and see if I like it before I go on vacation. I'll take it on vacation, and while we're sitting at the pool, I'll listen to Ozark, and she'll do whatever she's doing. And I was like, when we actually so I started that like Monday, right before we left on Saturday for vacation, and by the time we got to Saturday, I was in season 3.
I just couldn't stop. Tore it. Oh my God!
I tore it
up.
Okay,
be careful. I got some warnings for you. Do not turn on Pinky Blinders because if you haven't, Netflix has got the whole 6 seasons. You're done. Do not touch it. Or Game of Thrones. Don't touch it.
I've done Game of Thrones.
Okay. So you get close to those.
Pinky Blinders. Me and my wife started, but she bailed. She's a big bailer on shows. She'll get like 6 episodes in. She's like, I don't like it. I'm out. And I'm like, well, I gotta watch the whole season now. I gotta watch this whole series. There's 7 seasons. It's like, all right,
you're gonna come back. You're my partner in crime.
Right, exactly. So she's asleep in bed, and I'm trying to.
You're still watching.
Yeah, I'm still watching.
You might want to check out Bad Blood. It's a cool cheeky little series on. I've been checking it out. It's really good. I mean, there's of course, we got all the shows I love, like Squid Games, Lincoln Lawyer. I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix. Netflix is really
Squid Games just came out with audio description, right? Because it originally didn't have it.
It didn't originally have it, but I have it now. Yeah, everyone's actually the first time I ever watched it, it had descriptive audio. I'm really surprised. Maybe it was out even before that. I just didn't find it yet.
Yeah, but when it first came out. Yeah, when it first came out, it did not have audio description. And I think when it became super popular, they probably added it on there for us.
Oh yeah, and it is super popular. Yeah, if you want something similar to Squid Games, you might want to check out Showdown on New Def Gaming. It's pretty good. It's for adults, of course, but there's also, I've toned it down a little bit. Well, not really, but it's within YouTube's algorithm toned down. I had to get rid of a lot of F-bombs. There'll be none of that on this show. This is Lost Vault. This is a family-friendly game.
If you didn't know, this is a Lost Vault podcast or show.
It's a Lost Vault Let's Play. Yeah. Speaking of that,
which we may never get to, but okay.
We need to swing over. We need to swing this over to Coffee and Games. You need to swing over to my Coffee and Games, my more controversial
this is more like coffee talk
show.
Yeah. 2 Yankees talking it up. That's what we're.
Exactly. So let's look at. You know what? Let's young tribe member. I have a question. Why are we using tribal names? Like we're a tribe. I'm a chieftain. I Why are? I guess we gotta have. I guess we don't want to call her.
You could be.
Why not
You could be
just be a
general,
guild?
and I could be.
Yeah, I guess that'd
private.
be too military. I mean, you could be one of my what are PMCs they call paramilitary? No, what do they call that? Private military contractor. PMCs. I've been reading a lot of Greg.
I thought you were going with PFC, which is private
no,
first class.
Yeah, private first class. Oh yeah. Which I actually wanted to be in high school for something you kids. You may not know what this is. It's called. They had it in school at my
ROTC?
age. ROTC. Oh, sorry. We'll save that. Okay. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because we're going to be there for
We'll save that for our ROTC podcast.
ROTC. Yeah, because, oh my God. There was, okay. Michael, pin that. All right. Moving on. So let us check out our tribe. Well, should we throw a tribe shout out? So we just let people see our tribe page here or listen?
Yeah, let's go to it.
Okay. Now, I don't know if Aaron, you're able to hear. Are you hearing the tribe page? Let me make sure I'm screen sharing. You hear all that?
I did not hear it. I hear you.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, let me see if I can. Let me make sure I'm screen sharing properly. Okay. See, sometimes Lost Vault will kick me out of a screen share. Okay. Oops. Okay, Zoom. Oh, it says I'm screen sharing. That's really weird.
Thought I heard something for a second there.
Yeah, you know what? It's not sharing it. It should because.
Well, if your other people can hear it, I know what the screens look like, so I can play along.
That's really weird. Okay. Well, it says I'm screen sharing it. That's really weird. You should see it. It said, okay, it's already, well, I didn't go with that. Okay, maybe it will be seen by those of you. If those of you are listening, I'm going to speak the screen and say what I'm doing. As you know, I will repeat everything that you're going to hear with voiceover anyway. So just get used to the echo. The life of a blind person is that we want everything to be accessible for everybody. And that means you're going to have to hear me repeat things. Okay, I'm back on Lost Vault. So long as we don't get disconnected. Okay. All right, so this is our tribe blind, which I think we're full, Aaron. I think we might be full because we recently just did an upgrade.
Do we have 20 slots?
It may not be ready yet. I think, for God's sake, Camille, it's only one at a time for $13 million. I think it's only one slot. I think we got 18. Let me see. Okay. All right. Donate. Okay. Let me go back up to the top. Okay. Our current quest is attack other survivors, which I really hate that one.
Yeah. You got to remember to do it.
Oh, I know. We got to do it. You really, folks, if you're not attacking, you really got to help your tribe get those, what are they called? The little ore pieces. They have a name for them. Radiant or something, or
uranium,
yeah.
That's there's this one component that I've not really experienced. It's being the chief, because you kind of have a whole new tribe shelter that you're running kind of as well. Like I just kind of donate and you guys upgrade whatever you're upgrading, but that's kind of an interesting dynamic that you get to also partake in as chief.
Yeah, and you know what else you get too? A whole lot of bleep drama. you get a whole lot of drama from, I mean, yeah.
Why did you upgrade that?
Yeah, why did you upgrade this? Well, not
why
really,
haven't you promoted me?
Yeah, why did you promote that person? Why did you kick that person? I'm like, I answered to, there's this line, because I'm going to date myself, but there's this line that is in Superman 2, and I'm going to use that line. It was spoken. There's this line. There's these three super villains. You remember the Superman 2?
Yeah.
And there is this line where one of the super villains picks up this human and he says to him, and the general is grabbed by the collar by this really evil guy. I forgot what his name is.
Zod? Is that General
Zod? Yeah, he's this real handsome looking guy with a mustache. He's totally he's basically looks like he looks like a hipster. But he's wearing these really cool like Superman looking stuff, and they're like there's these three sadistic guys, and he grabs his human general and he says, you will bow before. He asks this guy a question, and the human general says, I answer only to the president. And there's this line where Zod goes, and he shall answer to me. And that's my favorite absolute line of all time. So now that you've gone down that rabbit hole, you've got an idea where we are. Let's see. So we are, actually, I bought the upgrade. It's uranium, as you said. So when you get folks 5 uranium, as you all know, I'm doing a series, Lost Vaults Essentials, Essentials Guide. I don't know why I made such a fancy la-di-da name, but that's what we're going to be getting. You're going to be getting that. If you're wanting and listening out for lots of tips, check out that series. It's going to walk you through it. Now, I know you all don't believe this game is that great because a lot of you think this is just an idle game. This is just a boring game. There's no sound. I used to think that at first, but you get super addicted fast. What would you say, Aaron, about that? You think it's not that great at first, and then you're playing every day.
Yeah. So what the developer did that I think is just so smart is that you're always just one step away from unlocking something. You know, you never have to go too far. It's kind of like in every 5 increments. You know, at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, there's always something being unlocked. So you're always really kind of close where you're just like, oh, I'll just play so I can see what opens up at level 35, or I'm going to now play until legendaries open up at 40, and you just keep kind of going. And then I love, you know, my favorite part is getting new gear and comparing the gear and then updating that gear. I love that aspect of it, and then seeing how I fare in battles now that I have, you know, the ring that gives me 20% extra health.
It's sweet, isn't it? You can spend hours doing that comparison of gear, right? Just looking at one gear, thinking about it, you know, should I upgrade it? Should I gem it with endurance or luck or my particular attribute?
Yeah, I do. So I have like a unique kind of way is I'll you know, if I'm, you know, at the beginning of level 31, I kind of like just ride out the entire level 31 until I get all the gems, and now I've got a whole bunch of gear that's, you know, probably level 31, maybe a couple 32s, and then the minute I turn over to level 32, I could do a massive, like, all right, swap out all my gear, gem everything up, and then, you know, ride level 32 until I get to level 33 and then do that again. So I don't kind of like, very rarely will I do it as I kind of go along. I'll kind of save it up and, you know, really radically change my character at the start of every new level.
Yeah. Hey, so describe to me, so you came in and it's really confusing at first, right? Because there's so much, it doesn't feel like there's a lot going on at first, but then you get into it and you realize there is so much going on. So just how did you feel when you first came into a tribe? Kind of describe that experience. Was like the good, the bad, just the raw part of joining a tribe.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was good. I originally reached out to you to join your tribe because I've been, you know, playing this game to review it, and I really like to experience everything about a game in order to write a review about it. And I, you know, most games, if it's a game that's finishable, I will play it until I finish it, and then I will write a review so that I can really say that I've experienced the whole thing to write you a review. Now, this game you can literally play for years. I'm up to level 32. I'm pretty deep into it. I kind of know what this game is. But when I originally reached out, I was like, well, I want to see what the tribe stuff's like. So I reached out to you and I said, hey, I see you have a tribe. Can I join you? And you let me into your tribe. What I particularly like about the Blind Tribe is, it's a pretty good group. There's a chat section in the tribe group, and people write things in there and share ideas, and you throw in tips every day as the chief of here's how you can have a better character, and just is kind of a nice thing to have people that you're kind of engaging and experiencing the game with. So I kind of like it from that standpoint. And then obviously just if you're a good tribe member and you contribute your coins and money and things like that, there's a lot of perks that come along with as you as chief start upgrading all the buildings and various things like that.
Yeah, because if you don't give your stipend up, we'll be yanked out of your housing, dragged down the street, something out of Game of Thrones, shame. We're gonna knock.
Well, that's my ritual too. Like at the end of that twice a day, as I said, I run it at 8 a.m, 8 p.m. At the end of my session, right before I'm done until 12 hours later or 11 hours later, that's the last thing I do is I donate my 10% of what I earned over that session over to the group, or as close to the 10%. Because as far as I know, you can't type in a number, right? It's kind of like you swipe up and you swipe up and it
goes to some random integer of some type.
Right. Some percentage of what you have.
Yeah, Camille, over coffee and tea, we can have a talk about what that number is based on. Me and you and Aaron. It doesn't matter. I'm open. To anything.
Yeah, so I try to just swipe up until I fit around, pretty close to that number. So for me, like, I think you're like making millions a session, right? Like I make about 600 grand is what I make. So
I think currently right now, if I really get busy, if I really do what I'm supposed to be doing, currently, if you count my daily, now literally, I really put my foot in my mouth when I said 10% of tribe income, because I'm making over 6 million a day. So literally, my tribe income for a week, 6 times 7,
6 million.
That's 6 times 7. That's 42 million a week. So 10% is 4 million. I'm under contributing. Sorry, sorry. You'll never know this unless you watch our this video, this new Code Let's Play collab. So that secretly I
really want to see the comments. So first off, I'm really I'm sitting here worried. Like, are people hearing half of a conversation and think you are completely crazy? So that's my first thing, like whether they're even hearing me or not.
Oh no, my recordings come in really crispy and clean. You will hear it.
All right. So let's say they are hearing both of us. I am super curious on the comments of whether people like that. I'm having a blast. I don't know if someone listening is going to have a blast, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, me too. I love chatting with you, Aaron. Like I said, we become good friends since I know, it's really destined to meet. You make friends in our particular field. Either become colleagues that just say, oh, yeah, okay, nice meeting you, and you never talk again. Or you're like us, and we're busy kibitzing every week, about something, talking about something. You need something, I throw it your way. There's something I have a question about, I might want to know, like, what you're working on. You've asked me, like, because I'm a member of MAG. And though I haven't contributed much, I feel real guilty about that. I really need to contribute more, but I'm kind of scared. You feel scared that you're gonna go. You open your mouth as a YouTuber, even though you're small like me, and you start talking, and then you notice that everyone's vastly more intellectual than you, and you're like, oh, yeah, I just learned how to activate the settings and turn off that text format, and They're like, you
No,
didn't
come on.
know how to do that?
No. Well, that person's mean if they're like shaming you. I mean, there's, you know, there's just talking to people. Like, I mean, even at simple, you know, like again, I think it was in our tribe that I found out from that person who was like, you know, he just kind of threw away. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go, you know, run my caravan for 10 hours. I'm like, 10 hours? How are you doing 10 hours? And then he explained how you can move the slider past 7 to 10. I was like, this is amazing.
Exactly.
Like, I'm doubling
Oh my
money.
God. Yeah, the 10-hour caravan fiasco. Oh my God. Camille, let us know we can do 10 hours.
No. It's not a fiasco. See, we have an inside scoop.
Oh yeah. Let me.
Maybe not everybody realizes.
Erase that 5 seconds.
Right.
Did you know? Secret. That's going to be in the Vaul Essential Guide. You don't know until you watch the video. Yeah, there's a super secret on how to get your caravan up to 10 hours. There you go. Exactly. Let's keep that to ourselves. Yeah.
Only tried blind those.
yeah. If you want to get, oh my God, don't you love the bonuses from that 10-hour?
Yeah, it like doubles the amount that you were making off of 7. It's epic.
The money. Do you know how much food I get from a 10-hour caravan?
Oh no.
989,000.
Wow. I usually do. I usually do money, and then I'll run experience if I'm like, you know, if I kind of calculate them like I'm going to be just short when I run next time, or you know, the next 2 times I'm going to end up short of making it to the next level. So I'll run experience there, or if it's an experience weekend, then I'll run it because it's almost like double when it.
Oh God, yeah.
So
wait, we got it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if I just hear it's going to be, there's a nice guy. I don't know who he is. He's like the highest ranked guy. Fleck, I think is his name. Level 75 or 76. So if you go over to the global chat on the first tab, whatever that first tab is, I can't remember, Survivor or something like that. If you go to the global chat at the start of the weekend, he says, hey, for those using voiceover, this weekend is, you know, extra on cash or extra on food if you run that in your caravan. So I always kind of mention that over into our tribe just so people know. But he is, I've looked at him. He's in a tribe. It's called like Alpha, the Alpha tribe or something like that. And like, I don't know, 20 members, probably 10 of the members are over 75 as their level. And then like the lowest person is 66 or something like that.
Which is 66, folks, is eyeball bleedingly high.
Yes.
66 is burn down the Arctics high. He's 75. And by the way, I didn't even know you could go past 50. I just found that out this week.
Well, you can get at least up to like 76 or 77 or whatever he is. He was the highest person because I actually went, you know, kept hitting next page or previous page and on the Survivor until I got to the number 1 person, you know, just to see who it was. And then I saw what tribe he was and then found that tribe. And yeah, I mean, they must have been, you know, from literally been running every day since day 1. Actually, he started because I don't know if it automatically does this, but somewhere on his profile, he started October 9th of last year.
That's impossible. That's impossible because it took me 3 months to hit 50.
I think it was October 9th, 21. So
maybe it's possible, right? It did. Okay, it took me. How long did it take you to reach level 31?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I was playing 6 weeks probably.
So a month plus, and took me 3 months to hit. Mind you, I played a couple. I have another account. I have New Def Black, and I played that. I've got that account up to level 33.
Yeah, but I can't run 2 accounts. That is too much time.
Oh, you will. Oh, no. You could listen. You just log in. This is your chief. Your chieftain demands that you play 2. No. Listen. You just log in, hit your explorers, take your rewards, suck down those rewards, clear out your shelters. You're done in 20 minutes. It's only 40 minutes a day.
Well, you got to remember, like, again, so this one, I'm still running a bunch of games on the side. Like, this isn't my only game because I'm still reviewing games every week. So
what?
So I have this game, like, it's kind of like a joy and it's a curse when you have a game like this that you're like, okay, this is going
Uh-huh.
to take a long time and it's fun and it's interesting. But like, again, like I don't just like play for 30 minutes and then review it. Like I have been, 6 to 7 weeks of playing this game. And when you have something like that, well, 6 weeks have gone by and I've had to get out 6 other game reviews. So I'm running multiple games at a time to be sure that I can stay ahead when I have a game like this that's going to take 6, 7, 8 weeks before I can really put out my review about it. So I got to play this game for 90 minutes a day, and then I got to play some other game for however long to get a review out, and then I got to write reviews, and then I got to post and do interviews. So I barely have enough time to do. I'm not going to run a second one. Sorry, Chief. I'm going to fail you.
Well, your chieftain is very disappointed, but you are an amazing. You are an amazing tribe member. Please never leave.
All right, well, I'll do my best.
All right, cool. So we got to that point, so we got to talk about it. So there's something, there's always been something missing in the blind, visually impaired community when it comes to games, and that's an MMO, but also a game that keeps you playing every day, that isn't boring, isn't monotonous. Regardless of what people say, this game isn't boring, monotonous, tedious. This game is rich and sweet, and it's the coffee game you play in the morning, right? It's the have a cocktail game sitting on the back porch. It's a beautiful game, and it really brings forward those warm feelings when you get some really cool gems dropping, when you really get a big load of supplies from your shelter, when you beat somebody in the arena, when your tribe beats a stupid reactor boss like number 20 old skeleton, you loser. When you really do something amazing, like get a really good gear setup and beat a vault, because this is called Lost Vault. And one of the most satisfying things is when you get that sweet spot, when your character is destroying vault monsters. When did you, like, I know it was a long sentence, but when did you find that moment in Lost Vault when you knew you had a sweet spot in this game? Like, it was a game you weren't going to discard because it was too monotonous, or it was just small numbers getting bigger, as many YouTubers have accused many idle games, many semi-idle games of being just small numbers getting bigger and repetitive and linear and all the dirty words, the L word, linear.
Yeah, I think, as I said, the thing I think it really has going for it is that there's always something just around the corner that you can unlock and explore and be new. There's a lot of different aspects. So, I mean, on the first page, you can get new badges. You can get, run your daily rewards and spin the wheel and, get something lucky. Then you can upgrade all your attributes. I mean, that's all stuff just on page 1. Then you have, the next page where you have all your gear set, and you can, swap that out and get new gear and have new gems and upgrade and, run. I know you're running like multiple different sets depending on what you're doing, fighting a boss or just trying to get XP or trying to get cash. Mm-hmm. Then there's, the hatchery when you get at a certain level where you can, get pets and, see what pet you're going to get out of the hatchery. Then you have your shelter where you have all of the different buildings that you're upgrading, which, obviously makes you more powerful and gets you more supplies and resources. Then you can go and raid people. You can go and fight the invasion boss, and, which gets you lots of gear and supplies as well. Then you get over to exploring, and then you get to wander the wastelands. You get to run the vaults. You get to run, and then you can see what your reactor, chit chat with them, and that chat feature, and then on the final rank page, you're going and attacking people sometimes, or just looking at what other people's gear sets and how they're, like I always look at the people right around my level just to see, like, oh, let me look at a scout who's, same level as me. Like, am I set up, in the, the right ratios compared to that person, see how they kind of set up their scout. I'm a scout, by the way, differently than me. So there's just the variety. I mean, I think he's just so smart of just having a lot of different things that you can do, which are all kind of bit different experiences, and then always having something that's just out of your reach that you're going to unlock real soon. If you just play, one more session or two more sessions, you're gonna get to something. That is what has made that game special. There's I've chit-chatted with you a little bit of some things I'd like to see, slightly different, that I think would take it from great to legendary as a game. But again, I don't know how hard some of that might be to actually code.
Yeah, go ahead. Lay it on us. What would make, and I have some of my own opinions about this, obviously with the most love for Camille and Lost Vault and everyone here, respecting all of you who have put the work into the game, those of you who are contributing and buying from the shops. You're making this game work. You're making a game that is an MMO for the blind and visually impaired. I don't care. I take ownership of any game that I can play as a blind person. Listen, I can play this game. I have no limitations in this game. To me, I take ownership of games that I can play like this. It's sweet. But yeah, what are some of the things that can take this game from great to legendary? Take this game from epic to legendary gear,
right,
basically.
Exactly. Yeah, keeping the terminology. Yeah. So what I would really like to see is, and it's really, I mean, sounds would be cool, but again, that's money to do, and because you got to buy the sound packs and all that stuff. So again, I don't know how possible that is, but being blind, sound is always great. What I would like to see on the Wanderer page, so when you have, here's the different vaults, right? They kind of like unlock one vault at a time, and you run through, the floors or the levels, until you get, done level 5, and then a new vault opens up, right? I would love to see it kind of be, here's a map of a whole bunch of different vaults, and when you get this, this vault's up to level 3, that suddenly makes you able to unlock, this vault over there. You can now get to level 1 on that vault, so that you're kind of jumping around a little bit, like, so maybe like more like a map of vaults that you're kind of working through, and working multiple vaults at a time, and so maybe I'll go over here and I can do level 3 on this vault, or I could start this new vault, this one's opened up, let me go start doing that one, and have it kind of a little bit more map style, and then maybe a little bit more storytelling between those. Now you've unlocked level 3 of this vault, which gives you a golden key, and the golden key now lets you unlock floor 2 on this vault over there, so that there's a little bit more story, if you will, or plot line, or however you want to describe it, kind of an experience, like a world experience. That's what I think would really take it to the next level.
I love that, because then with those vaults opening up all over the world, the globe, this post-apocalyptic world, maybe you bring something from that vault that helps you defeat the boss. So you get that Mega Man kind of thing. You get that Castlevania kind of like roguelike feel to it, what do they call that? They have a name for it in the gaming community. They have they don't call it Mega Man or Castlevania. They have a word for it. I forgot what the terminology is, but
yeah, exactly. I mean, you pick up something and it drops you, this whatever, I don't know, like some level gear over here that now lets you actually defeat this boss over there, or gives you the key to unlock this vault over there. Like, so it creates a more of a world feeling, and more of everything's kind of interconnected feeling. I think everything else about it is great. That is the one part that I would just say that I would change. And then for me, I don't know if you have this experience. I'm at let's say some vault level, level 4 of a vault, and I have to get through 460 runs of that before I can get on to fight the boss and get onto the level 5. I'm never in fear of losing that battle, right?
No, yeah, there's really no challenge. You mean you're talking about the zone? Like it's
right.
Yeah, you're right. It's so many hundreds of times in each district, and then after you defeat the district, you get a guard, and then you go to the second district, and so on until you beat the entire zone. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And I've never felt like, I've never lost one of those battles ever. So that would be kind of an interesting thing too. Is like, maybe I'm trying to fight in this vault over here that actually is a little bit above my level, and so maybe I'll end up losing some of those battles. But do I risk, trying to fight, a little bit above my pay grade to get a good drop that I can then make it easier to, run through this? So it would give a little bit more strategy if there was some multiple vaults open at different times, or multiple vaults open at the same time. I mean, that you could go, visit and try out different ones, and maybe, like I said, just fight a little bit above your pay grade. So that even with right now with the one we're doing, I would like those battles to be a little bit closer, just so that maybe I feel a little bit nervous on whether I'm going to make it or not, or maybe I have to upgrade a little bit. On the flip side, the actual vault, I'll go fight in a vault 5-6 times before I finally upgrade enough to beat that guy. Maybe even sometimes more. For me, I'm finally just starting to beat guys who have a level above me, a couple of levels above me. So I think I'm a 32, and the guy I'm fighting now is a 35. But a lot of times I was, before I was 28, and then 26s were beating me. So there's a little bit balance that could be, better distributed a little bit. So the challenge right now is in those vault fights. Those are the ones. That I'm not always sure. Usually I'm going to lose until I get it, get pretty close, and then get a lucky wave and beat them.
Oh yeah. You have to and you got to have some good luck on those vault fights. Like you're totally right about that. I'd love to see more strategy. I mean, I think you're pretty much going to cover everything I was thinking I was going to say would be great improvements. But yeah, maybe you fight this zone and you grab some ice, or you grab some fire, like auras of something, which is going to make it easier for you to go to this ice zone and wipe them out. Or maybe you grab this evil aura and you go to this holy zone or this swamp area, and that's going to work really well against them because you've already beat that area.
Yeah, like you said, maybe you have your set of gear is whatever, the ice pistol, right, as opposed to a regular pistol, and you still can throw endurance on there, and you can throw agility, gems on there or whatever, but that ice pistol is going to have better attacks against whatever is susceptible to ice as a fire. So again, then you might want to be like, oh, I kind of want to have some multiple sets, or I want to mix and match so that I have some of my gear gives me fire protection and ice protection against things that might give me fire and ice as well. So that would add kind of another layer to your strategy, to your loadout, if you will.
The
other thing I would like to do. The other thing I would like to do is, how you have arena fights, survivor against survivor. I would love to have tribe fights.
Oh, nice.
Because then
that would be sick.
Right. I mean, and then it also gets into, well, let's just really, because right now you could just have a tribe of all scouts, right? And what does it matter? It might make it a little bit harder for a reactor boss, but I think it'd be really interesting, because now you've got to really think like, all right, well, I need some mages, and I need some, tank guys, and I need some range people. Like, you might actually, strategize out, your tribe, and not just invite anybody and everybody into your tribe. You'd be like, all right, I am recruiting for a druid. That's what I want. So apply if you're a druid. I think that would be interesting to have tribal fights.
Oh, that would be great. It feels like the scout and the druid work, but you're right about that on everything you said. A little small complaint. I feel like I have a bandit. I feel like we're weak. We're weak sauce. Weak. Like, because I don't know. Maybe y'all have experience. Leave me in the comments. If your bandit is awesome, let me know. My bandit, I'm level 33 and I'm still struggling. It's
Well,
so weak.
Well, isn't like the bandit you're supposed to do endurance and luck, right? Those are the things that you're really supposed to be putting up.
It says strength too, though. So I've been pumping up strength, but yeah, you're right. It feels like I need to go luck because I'm not really getting anywhere with strength.
Yeah, I thought it was luck because you're really looking for the criticals with the bandit, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I've got too many points in strength. You know what? That's another thing, Camille, I'd love to have you do. We need to break these class quests down. We need to really get a little bit more information about when we switch classes, when you do that class quest, we really need a tooltip that goes, okay, you have now transformed into a bandit. Let's stop working on strength and endurance. Let's start working on luck and endurance. Or you're a scout now. Let's start working on what, Aaron? What's your 2 stats for you?
I run 3. So, because I think somewhere I read there's 3: agility, endurance, and luck.
Okay, so that's what it is.
So,
I need to go more luck. Yeah,
I'd have endurance. It's the thing I have kind of the most of, then agility, and then luck.
See, I need to put like 10 million into luck. Just get that'll only move it by about 2 points, like, you know, because luck is so slow. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try that this week because, yeah, folks, druids are great. I have no complaints about. Hey, that last couple reactor fights, I was tanking that thing. And like you said, we need classes. And okay, so this comes into where I have my little suggestions. Okay, so number 1, if we take damage, why don't we heal? I don't get, our auto heal is off the chain, but it doesn't work in reactor fights. We just die. Okay, so where did our auto heal factor go? We have like this Wolverine level healing factor, but it disappears on reactor bosses. I don't get it.
Is that the lifesteal? What is that?
No. You just auto. Okay, you know when you fight in the zones,
yeah,
and after you lose or win, you get all your health back immediately.
Right. Yeah.
We should be healing that, shouldn't we? I would like to have it so that we had heal pots, mana pots. Let's heal that up. That would give us something else to do. Like, I'd really love to heal. Like, why don't we have healers in our game? Like, I love to see the 4th class, please. It could be a shadow priest or a healer, but give us some combination healer / dark class, a cleric. Because what's really missing here is a cleric or a paladin, right? We're really missing.
As you said, then that gets into some strategy about your tribe as well. If you want to make sure you have some of those, and that again makes tribal fights interesting. You know, because you want to have the right mix. I was just thinking of something else that I was thinking. Well, you keep going. I had something else.
Well, you come and just jump in. So I'm just, because think about it. If we had clerics and paladins or healing classes, shamans, I don't care. Pick a class that heals, folks. You can take any class that heals. There's games that have made healers out of everything. So they come in, now the reactor balls, as he's hurting, like for instance, we have several, like we got my tribe, my number 1, I call her L'Ariel. L'Ariel is my number 1, and she's incredible. And she's very much like Aaron. They work really hard to improve their character, and she's super strong. And she's not only that, she's a great administrator. Like, I literally feel safe when I'm away because she takes care of everything. But it's just that I would love it if we could have more strategies. Like, me and her, we talk a lot, as me and Aaron do, about strategy. Like, okay, do we need to save first aid? Do I need to get common mentos? Does one of us need to go heavier on endurance? And we basically decided that she's going to tank, I'm going to spank, because druids can spank. And she's now pushing her magic resistance up by spending money on intellect. She's also pushing up her endurance very heavily. And she's also stockpiling first aid. Whereas I am stockpiling whatever the buff food is that increases intelligence, but also mentals.
Yeah, let me ask you about it, because you guys are saying you're stockpiling them. I haven't seen any of those in forever.
What? You're not getting any of the buff food? No,
No,
that's not right.
No, I'm not getting any of those. I had some for a while that I kind of saved, and then I was running out of backpack room, so I just kind of used them all. But I mean, that was, I don't know, 7 levels ago. I haven't seen any in 7 levels. And then, so I was going to say, like, the thing I would like to see is more drops like that. So that makes me a little concerned that I'm just not seeing them. And I have pretty high luck too, which I would have thought would have given me more of made it.
But do we know if luck?
I think someone said.
Do we know if luck measures up for us getting those drops? Does luck cause more buff foods to drop, buff items, whatever folks you want to call it? What do you think?
I thought I read about that in the global chat that someone said, but I mean, I don't know that for sure. Someone in the global chat said, yes, it leads to more drops. So yeah, I was going to say more drops like that, and more drops of, again, I think it was a special event when they had all the different items that dropped different, 3% water or 9% water.
Oh God, that was a sweet event.
Yeah.
Camille, that was a sweet event, brother. Please throw more of those.
Yeah, and you don't even have to do it as an event, but just every once in a while, because then it's like, ooh, I got 10%. I'm gonna save that and run it. When I have an extra, 10% experience, drop as well, and run, do those extra water and that at the same time. And so again, that adds a nice little layer of strategy. Like, I'm just kind of filled up with gear and gems. I have not seen any of that for a while. And again, I thought maybe it was just another one of these events that happened and I just had stuff left over. But if you're still getting drops on that, I'm a little concerned for myself of why.
No, I'm already stocked. I've got 2 first aids sitting around. I've got 1 mental. I've got 2, what do you call those things? The luck buff item. So yeah, you're getting burned a little bit on that one. I'm wondering why you're not getting those drops. Yeah, you need those, because those are going to help you against the reactor bosses, because you need that extra health.
Yeah, I know. You're so funny. You're as my chief, you're like, use up your whatever, this, that, and that. I haven't seen one of those in 15 levels. I don't know.
As your chief, I am so irrelevant. It's really funny. Actually, I said I was going to look at your gear. I'm going to look at your gear.
Oh, look me up.
Let me look at your gear here.
Okay.
L'Ariel, Lyanna. Now that's L'Ariel's alt. A Cephas, New Death Black. That's my alt. Iblazion, pretty badass. Crypto.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, let's pull up Crypto. Okay, so this is Crypto.
Crypto is my. I'll give you a little behind the scenes.
Go ahead.
My name for all sorts of games my whole life has been Goldie, which has to do with a childhood nickname. Crypto is because that is my guide dog, and so I switched all of my new characters on all new games since I got my guide dog. I'm now Crypto on things.
Yeah, please throw out a description of your guide dog, please. We're mostly blind folks here. For those of you who don't know, guide dogs help guide the blind. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, he's a sweet 60-pound pure black lab. I got him at the C9 in New Jersey. We've been together for about 14 months. No, longer than that, 16 months. And he just turned...
he's a baby.
Yeah,
he's a baby.
Well, he turned 4 on August 8th. It's his birthday. And so he's a little bit on the older side because of COVID, he went through 2 training cycles.
Okay.
Because when he went through and he graduated, and then there were no students because of COVID, and so they just put him back in for another 4 months of training, and then he came out.
It's like I guess I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he was like, yeah, I thought I was going to move out of this house. now I'm like a overeducated college student here. Like, can I get out of this place and do some real work?
No, he's great.
I know. What's really funny? I wonder, when you think about COVID, I have to refer to it as the time sink, the time warp, where time stood still for 2 years, basically, right? So Crypto is and that's your guide dog. That's such a lovely, cute name. which is the planet of Superman, I do believe.
Well, that's Krypton. Crypto was Superman's dog.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm going to be just, those of you who know, my nerd levels have been dropping. I really need to get my levels back up here. I feel very ashamed of my misrepresentations here.
You're no level 75.
Let's see here. Whoa. Nice donations there, Crypto. You got good cash donations. You will remain in tribe. 57 bottle caps. That's a little bit. That's great. I'm not thinking about like tribe members, maybe.
Wait, can you see how many 57's got to be my cumulative? Is that my cumulative donation?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
Yeah, because I've never donated 57 at a time. I know that.
Oh, no, not at a time. No. Yeah, that's your cumulative. I do believe that's your cumulative.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing great. I had this one guy. He never contributed any bottle caps. I'm like, hello.
No, I do. I think you said to donate 5. I usually donate.
Yeah, 5.
I usually donate, 10, or if it ends up being 12, I'll just donate 12. So.
Well, if you donate 12, just skip the next week. I try to make everybody know it won't let you perfectly donate. Camille, can we get that bottle cap thing to stop moving by exponentials and move by just a set number? I would love it to move by 5 would be great. Or could we select the amount that it moves by? Because right now it's 5, 9, 32, 79. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've done a couple times where I donated whatever, it went from 5 to 17 or something like that. So I just did 5 and then did 5, and I'm like, I hope I get credit for donating 10. What's it going to look like?
You do. There was a person. They're not with our tribe anymore. Their job was to make sure people didn't over donate, but he got a little caught up in not so good at keeping up with tasks he was assigned.
How much money have I donated?
Let's see. I got your money. Donations are.
I didn't know there was a cumulative.
Let me see.
Because I know the journal will show you your last donation, but.
It says 0D2H. Last 2 hours.
I haven't done anything in the last 2 hours.
Oh, you've contributed like $1 million. You're well over 1.2 million.
Nice. Look at me.
I know. You're really putting in the money there. Keep it up here. And 57 bottle caps. All right, and let's go ahead and I've gone ahead and promoted you.
Oh, don't promote me. I don't want no responsibility. What does that
late.
mean? What am I?
Nothing. It means nothing. You're fine. Just keep it up. Keep up the good work. Keep up the positivity. It means you now have to monitor closely every gear. Yeah. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's look at your gear. Let's see.
So I'm a level 7. I upgrade everything to level 7.
Oh, plus 7 on your upgrade?
Yeah.
Let me see your gear. I'm trying to look at your gear. They say, would it be under stats? I'm going to say it's your stats.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, yeah, there is. Level 32. Oh, by the way, Epical Rifle? Is that your pet? That is. No. Oh, that's your weapon. That's your weapon. I wish I was a scout. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, you know what would be really good, Aaron, if we could have more than one pet fighting for us. I think that would pets do very little damage. It would make no difference. But if you really, Camille, one of the cool things is, by the way, folks, when you get to level 50, you start opening up basically skills. So skills mean I didn't know you go to level 75. So you go to level 75, and as Aaron said, even more, even higher. And as you go in those levels, you can put your levels into certain skills. You can put it into health. You can put it into other attributes increasing. Oh. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I just unlock skills, and skills unlocks all these different skills that you can increase with your level. Like, you don't have to put your level into that skill. For instance, like to get more health. Like you can have up to 50% more health standard, but you have to put your levels into that skill upgrade.
Gotcha.
So that's the new thing you unlock at level 50, which is amazing. However, a little daunting because I didn't expect to have to level 25 more levels, but all right, anyway. So
I going back to pet.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I unlocked the pet. So I just did that at level 30, I think, unlocked pet. And
Yeah.
so, so the hatchery opened up. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to level this thing up, right? And I took it from level 1 to like level 6 on the hatchery very quickly. And it kicked out an egg. I'm level like 30, right? Because it just happened. It kicked out an egg that's level 37. And
Whoa!
I'm like, so I stopped upgrading.
Jump.
Yeah, so I stopped upgrading because I'm like, am I going to just keep getting a bunch of level 37 eggs that I can't, really equip for? I'm only at level 32 now, so like for 5 more levels, I'm going to have a bunch of eggs sitting around with nothing to do. So I kind of stopped on the hatchery. So I don't know if that was just I got a lucky roll and got something that was way above my my grade. I'm waiting for my egg is probably ready right now. The one that's been going for the last 5 days in that hatchery.
You want to raise to hatch that thing. There's a big reason why, because the hatchery has secret rewards that it gives you.
Yeah.
I would just birth them all. Yeah, they're useless because you can't equip them. Right. But I would birth them because you'll get rewards for doing that.
Yeah, you birth them and then you would it's not adopt. What's the term?
It's adopt. It should be for adopt, put up for adoption, but it just says adopt.
Right. And then what you got to remember is go back to the hatchery and find them, and then you can click on them to get a reward.
You get a reward.
Yeah.
And by the way, the hatchery tracks how many times you hatch that baby.
Right.
And because Sweetie Belle calls them babies. She's very bought into my babe. She really loves when I tell her what baby I'm having born from a hatchery. Go ahead, you're saying?
Well, I have one baby that's been adopted. I have one baby that's I can, it's ready to. It's level 37 one. It's ready, all warmed up and ready to go. And then I have one that's about, an egg that's about to come out. So I've only have 3 eggs, that and that one that's adopted, one that's, or maybe 4, because I have one that's adopted, one that's equipped, one that's ready, and one egg that's about to be birthed.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I would keep going because, listen, you're going to get paid so much. The hatchery is one of Camille's best ideas. I don't know where he came up with this from. I don't know if this is something he brought into the game because I wasn't here at its launch. I don't know. I'd love to talk to I'd love to talk to someone. If you were there when this game launched, if you were there during the beta or alpha, yes, you gotta come on this. Me and Aaron, would you be considering to come back again and let's just have more people on, and so we'll just sit here and talk to you all more. But yeah,
let's have everybody on.
Let's have everybody 60,000. Exactly.
I had that experience with Swordy Quest because I got onto Swordy Quest very early on, and that game changed a lot over the course. You too.
Oh,
you did 100 videos on that. So.
Oh God, I have literally 100+ videos of that one. Right. If you can't, and don't forget to count the first listens I did and the free, to try it out, and here's the tutorial mode. If you count every video I've done on Swordy Quest and the collabs, we're probably talking at least 120 videos.
Yeah.
That's the most videos out of, I was playing a non-accessible game called Hustle Castle a long time ago, right before I lost vision in my remaining eye. And then I basically was totally blind after that point. I had partial vision up in 216, and in 216 I lost all vision. But yeah, I did a good 100+ videos on Hustle Castle. Wish that there's no reason why with Unity's new accessibility plugin, there's no reason why Hustle Castle can't be accessible. It's just, whatever. It is what it is, right? That game would be great if it was accessible. There's absolutely no reason why it can't, because nothing in that game moves Nothing in the game of Hustle Castle moves without you directing it. It's a grid. Nobody can jump, nobody can fly. You could guide every character in that game from point A to point B with just commands and grids, X to Y, Y to Z. Just letting you know, Hustle Castle, all your games are completely on grids. Basically, it's on train tracks. There's no free movement in any of those games. So there's no reason why they can't be accessible.
That's like, I think every turn-based game should be accessible. I mean,
it should be. They're all on train tracks. You can't deviate. If you're saying that there's something you can do, there's nothing in any of these turn-based games that you can't do with accessibility. Just tell me when I'm moving, let me choose that I'm going to activate some power-up, let me know what I'm equipping. This is what Camille's doing. Camille's doing everything these modern turn-based games are doing, but he's just making it accessible. See, I can equip everything. I can see everything that's on my character. Not see, but you know what I mean. I can see with my senses what is being equipped in my character, and I can adjust it. I can add stuff to it. I can accentuate it. I can balance the iterations of it. There's no reason why all Final Fantasy Tactics, that should be accessible. I don't know why it's not. I don't need to see all the, I know what a spell looks like. I can just listen to it. But there's no reason why the functions of controlling the game can't be accessible. Now you're talking about WoW, something like that, or something that you're moving around. You're, something that you need to move and adjust. There might be some adjustments needed, but there's still, listen, Last of Us taught us, right? There's no reason why games that complex are accessible, but games that are turn-based are not accessible.
Yeah,
come on.
Speaking of that, very much so. I was talking before, I wanted a world, so that wander page, where all the vaults are, or zones, whatever you call them, districts. I want that as on a grid-like map, So again, it gives you this kind of world feel to it. That would be.
Oh yeah, you talk about a little tribe versus tribe combat. We could have like you were talking about earlier, having tribes versus tribes. It would be a separate action on the play. We have arena combat, tribe combat. Oh, that would get everyone playing. You throw some buff items in there for the whole tribe. Throw some healers in there.
Yeah, what'd be cool in the tribe too. So I was just talking about have the map. So what I was first talking about is just have the map on a grid with all the vaults all over, so that it kind of feels like a world. But in the tribe battles, you could also be let's play this on a grid, and so we could place our wizards and our scouts in the back, and we could put our whatever bandits on the fringes to swoop in and kind of have turn-based grid type combat.
Oh, that'd be sweet. It would work. It would work. I mean, it would require a lot of strategizing, and you could put some line of sight stuff. You can make our pets be part of the cannon fodder. You could make,
and what you have. Did you play Warlocks of Largefern?
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't beat every side quest, but I love that guy.
Yeah, but so that had a simple grid. I mean, I think that was a 4x. Each side had a 4x or 2x2 grid.
Oh yeah, that worked.
Right,
that totally worked.
So this is obviously tribal battle is maybe you have each side has a 5x5 grid, and you get to pick 3 people to go into battle or 4 people to go into battle. You know what I mean? Something like that. Oh
yeah, Warlocks of Largefern did prove that it's easy to run grid combat. I was talking to Life with Sweetie Belle about that, and the grid combat was a little hard for her, but once I kind of explained to her how it kind of works and what to listen for, she was getting it really fast. She's super quick. But you and me, Aaron, we're definitely super hard tryhards on turn-based games. You're like me, we've lived those games. Those are our bread and butter. I'm gonna put my tank up front here. I'm going to throw like somebody to shoot over his head and hit the guy in front of him. I'm going to put my wizard in the third space back. You know, I'm going to put my artillery, because it's warfare.
Put the rogue on the fringe and have him, you know.
Yeah, let him snipe away.
Yeah, give him a speed boost so he can swipe in from the side and get an attack that's from the side or the back, which double the hit damage. You know what I mean?
Little elevation, right? Throw a little elevation, like I'm above you, so dude, take my crit. It's like you know?
Yeah. So that's again, I don't know. I don't know what's possible, but I mean, that would be epic. Again, kind of taking it from great or epic to legendary.
Epic to legendary on that one.
Having tribal fights in a turn-based grid. And then maybe you do it in again how they run the tournament. Maybe you do it in a tournament, and if crypto dies, well, I'm not available for the rest of the tournament. You know what I mean? And then you got to pick somebody else from your tribe to kind of fill the scout role. You know what I mean? Or maybe you have no scout because I was your only scout. You know what I mean?
You're in a slot, and in my scout slot is okay. So we as a tribe would be allowed to spend like 14 hours arranging. So we'd have crypto in the scout one, and then another one of our tribe members say, and then for the next scout slot number 2, and so on. And if you die, then our second scout steps up to take your place in your slot. And that would be amazing. Oh, that would be so sick. Our tanks, you'd have tanks like we'd have like Laril would be our tank, and then I'd be like our druid in a back row. By the way, druids are healers. Why am I a damage dealer? So I feel like I should just become a healer. I'd love to turn into a healer. Like literally, let's just put healers in this game. Literally, let's put healers. And that changes the dynamics of this game so much. Like, healers don't do that much DPS, but they do a whole lot of healing, which could make really interesting vault complications. Like, maybe I'm at a stalemate with a vault boss, and we're literally going to fight for 10 days until one of us edges over with a crit or gets a nice little double hit. Like, I got lucky, I killed you, or I double hit, so I got 2 heals, so you can't kill me. So I really feel like you said.
That's actually one thing too I would like, and this is more, it's a blind thing as opposed to a, everybody else who's playing this game. But when the fights are happening, sometimes they move a little quick for me to, know what's happening. So I would love kind of like, okay, so now the battle's over, and I could swipe line by line to just kind of see how that battle went. You know what I mean?
I wondered, like when you said that, I was wondering about that whole report card, the whole spreadsheet. You know what I think it is? What I think it is, it's such a long spreadsheet that I think Camille is concerned that it might cause errors or logouts, because this spreadsheet will open up and we're talking about somebody's probably having a 10-minute long battle. We're talking about 10,000 lines of like hit, miss, hit, miss. And maybe he's afraid of letting that all play out for us to read back through. Or maybe it's just, well, is it? I mean, Camille, what is that? I mean, why can't we? Okay, I can understand maybe somebody has a super long battle and it's 10,000 lines of script. But reactor battles are super fast and we can never watch the whole thing. Can we at least slow that down so we can see the whole fight, every single part of the combat? Because it feels like we're missing.
Or a report card on that one where you could go line by line if it's not that long. You know what I mean?
It's not that long. It's literally the reactor boss. He's killing some of our people. Actually, I don't know. I think sometimes he kills more than one person with one hit. Like Old Skeleton, who we're on right now, number 20. I've seen him kill like 4 people. Boom, with one hit. Like, I didn't see him attack. And that's the thing, we can't see. Okay, when I say see, folks, I mean I'm swiping to listen to the attacks. You can't hear it. Even if you swipe slowly, you're missing like it feels like there's hundreds of battles occurring that we're missing. And the Minimaxer and me and you, right? We want to hear what happened. I want to know how many times I missed. Did I miss? Okay, how about this? Could you, Camille, do a thing where you tell us how many misses I had, how many hits I had, how many crits I took? Can we at least break it down to a summary, a more complete summary?
Speaking of summaries, the other one I would like to, again, I don't know if something's happening on screen or not, but when you do, your auto run, auto water, where it'll just take you and, I have like 380 water. So that's like 38 runs through the zone, right? It's just kind of silence. Like, and again, I don't know if on screen it's telling you what's happening in the battle, but if it's only going to be 38, I would love to know, like, all right, you defeated that person and it dropped you, 38 scraps and one epic ring. And then the next one, you got 96 scraps and you got a bottle of water. And then, so just kind of a little summary of what just happened when I just pressed auto water, because I don't really know what happened in that, on those 10 battles or 20 battles or however many.
Or 30 or 40.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of battles. And it feels like we're missing on game. It feels like, I mean, if we're going to put the other side of the good sandwich before we wrap it up. But I mean, in the middle of this, we're putting a little bit of the things that we'd love to see make this game. This game's epic, to make it legendary. That's why we're doing this. We're not complaining. We're just saying that would be great if you could break down those battles in the zones and districts, like you said, and you could hear a summary of everything you've done, or hear it, or a toggle to control whether I get more detail or less detail. Right?
Or if there's something like, again, that little box pops up, right, that says you're auto running it, and you can just swipe to close and that's it. But if it's actually, if you are cited, if it's telling you something like, the stuff that I just said, if it's popping up on screen but our screen reader's not reading it, maybe it's just, somehow you can make that accessible, that every 3 seconds it pops up what just happened. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, because then you can say Primordial Crystal, Lancaster Twilight. I'm just making up random names.
Yeah.
And then it would tell us what you got. 1400, maybe. I mean, listen, VoiceOver can handle it. It may slow the game down. Maybe there's some kind of coding thing that it's not able to read it, because maybe the game engine's so fast, because Camille, you've done so much great coding. Maybe, is it too fast for VoiceOver? The reason why we don't hear what we're picking up in those zones, in those boss fights with the reactor boss, is the code so fast that VoiceOver can't keep up with reading? Like, I want to know how hard old skeleton hits. Like, I want to hear it hit me for 34,000. I want to hear that. I want to hear that I hit it for 100K. That's what I want to hear, because that's satisfying to me. That feels good. Yeah, you're right about that. I that's something we're going to investigate. I take it upon myself to really talk about it. But yeah, those are some great things. Any other features you'd love to see added to?
Like I said, that's and there's some things that you can kind of, you got experience because your experience went up, and you can always go over to your items and see, I always kind of make note of what is the last thing I have. I have an epic boot. Okay, that's the last thing in my backpack. So, when I go back over, anything that's past the epic boot, that's what I just got when I auto run. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of pay attention to it. But maybe, like you said, it'd just be a little bit more satisfying to be able to see the result of, a summary of the 30 battles that I just ran. If it could just pop up and you could just kind of, peruse it at your leisure, that would be great.
Oh yeah, it'd be much more satisfying to kind of feel what we've gotten. It would make me feel more fulfilled if I could feel me gathering items. And I think because Lost Vault is so diverse and has so many things going for it, just those little creature comforts will greatly improve this game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, so we're going to wrap it up. I think we've said this game is beautiful. We've said that this game is amazing.
we didn't run any battles on your thing.
We didn't run any battles. Yeah, I made it to level 50. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do another video. This is going to come in. I think this is great. I think talking about the state of this game is great. If we
ever do this again, I'll actually let you play for.
Well, no, I talk more than I play. Pretty much, I get my game like you. I get it done in the morning and I get it done in the evening. I knock out my game. So it's so fast. Like literally, if I was to play for all of you, you all watch me play my Let's Play. I'd knock that out in the first 5 minutes of the video. I'm just talking to you for the rest of the video. I think Camille is starting to recognize that there are assets here that can be expanded and expanded and opened up and whatever other words mean to slow it down. And I think that will allow us to kind of do Let's Plays and the sound. And there's no reason, listen, if you want to throw in graphics for those who are visually diverse, that's fine. If you want to throw a couple little guys flying around, shooting fireballs at each other and, doing a bunch of, just, using some magic spells like fireball, whatever. If you want to have a bunch of little guys running around and persons and non-binary individuals flying all over the place, and that can be added. Sound effects could be toggleable for those of you who hate sound effects. Just bear with us. Some of us like sound effects. Some of us like cute sounds. Or better yet, let us tug our own in, or maybe a third party could come in and put some optional sound effects in. I don't see why. Chameleon just is an amazing game. We'll let a third party come in and maybe put some properties in there.
Is this his first game?
I don't know. I actually don't know that. That'd be good to know. If somebody knows, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to know.
If I get to interview him, that'll be one of my questions. Because if it is his first game, so much of it works really well.
He's brilliant. He's a genius. I don't know how he did it. I've seen developers struggle with accessibility, and I've seen Camille easily figure out the things that Camille has to deal with in this game that aren't accessible are very simplistic, small things compared to what some developers can't make what he's made. They can, but it's going to be hard. And he's done it. He's literally like, I'll make a huge world. Like, I'll make a world as big as the United States here. So. Yeah,
well, and again, what people don't think about is think about the math that's really behind the scenes here, because you got to, factor in, all of the endurance and the agility and all, the gems that you have on top of the gear, and then compare, the skills that we've upgraded versus what the enemy's doing. There's a lot of, expandable formulas to make that all work. So that's a pretty impressive feat that it doesn't bomb out on you.
Camille, you're not allowed to work for YouTube, because if they ever get a hold of your algorithm for scaling, that's it. We're all going to be forever broke. We'll never be able to beat any boss. Sorry, level 50. I'm going to have to make this boss level 52, and it's going to wipe your. If Camille, YouTube is probably Camille, we'd love you to work for us, just for a limited time only. Don't fall for it, Camille. They're gonna lock you away in a room and throw away the key. You're in the lawnmower menu.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. Is it's really hard to make a game balanced. Where it's not way too hard or way too easy, and there's a little work around the edges. That could be. Tightened up a little bit, but as a whole, when you're level 32, you're fighting a boss that's level, right around level 32, and you struggle with it, which is how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You're not level 32 and blowing through level 50 bosses. It's just not happening. So he's got the balance pretty keyed in. Like I said, some work around the edges maybe, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. His balance is tight. His balance game is Camille has brought balance to the Force pretty much single-handedly. You've done what Yoda's been asking for 6 expansions. For 6 sequels, Yoda's been asking for. We must have balance in the Force. Yes, young Padawan.
Yeah, even something okay, well, I'm going to add pets in. And suddenly you could add pets and you could totally screw up the balance where now this pet is making me blow through everybody. So all of that is, like I said, it's really impressive, because it doesn't all drop at once. You do it and then you add something, and you could really, mess up that balance. And he seems to have kept it pretty intact.
Right. Have you seen okay, so and again we're pulling toward that wrap up, folks, but the incremental games, the incremental roguelikes don't seem to get what Camille's done. See, Camille's made the incremental improvements to your character balance. So you're as Aaron just said, you're not destroying like massive bosses because your character's so broken.
Right.
Because he's got the incremental algorithm perfect. You're not unbeatable.
Right.
You can do something, but you also have to have a lot of components working for you. You've got to have everything lined up. You got to have your gems, you got to have your gear, you got to have your buff items, you got to have your tribe bonuses thrown in there. It's got to be maybe an event thrown in. You got to have the levels on that person. You got to have the skill build. Man, I mean, like, I'm super blown away. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed when I made it to 50 and I realized I had 25 more levels to go, because I was ready to be an in-game player. I was like, 50. And I was bragging to Life of Sweetie Belle, Aaron. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be level 50. I'm gonna be number one.
Well, what number are you in the rank?
Let's see. Let me sweep over there. Okay. Let's see. Where am I? Survivors.
I'll just pick any.
What? Oh, there we go. I got it. Here it is. 1,221.
So think about that. Yeah. You're level 50, and there's still 1,200 people who are ahead of you, which is probably all pretty active people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't believe it.
I think I'm 2,700 or 2,800. So
nice.
So there's 1,500 people between you and me, right?
Yeah.
And and 20 levels or 18 levels between us.
God, it's crazy. How does he ever manage this huge server?
That was the other thing I was thinking about too, because I mean, again, you have all of this. It's pretty live time. Like I don't understand. I don't understand anything.
How does it not crash? Because I've been in many MMOs that crash all the time. There's always somebody doing something. How does he prevent people from ripping stuff off or breaking in? Like we live in a world of lots of black hat hackers, and I mean, I don't know how he does it. How does he keep it clean? Like, how does he keep it from?
I don't even know how it works. Like I said, I don't even know how like a live thing like this works. Where I'm doing something. If I updated my character right now and made something level 8, +8, you would see it.
I'll see it. Right. Immediately.
Right.
I'll see it like a second later. The minute your screen refreshes, I'll see it.
Right. So the question is like, where is that all being stored on the back end? Is that a server he has on his computer? Or I don't know how that all works.
Awesome computer. Oh my God. That's going to be an interview.
That's a good interview question.
That's a good interview question. He's Camille, he's like that guy. Remember that guy, that movie, the guy makes all these really interesting androids. Let's just put it that way. In this day and age, we need to, our terminology in this particular show, we're going to keep it very family friendly. But do you remember that one movie where this guy creates these persons, androids? They're lifelike, right? He's like a genius, right? And this guy goes to visit him, and he gets it's a weird movie, but he creates these lifelike people. But they're in. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Keep going, because I don't know.
All right. He creates these female androids, but they're so lifelike that they're actually alive. And the guy that goes to interview
fembots?
him, no, that wasn't it. I don't think that's the name of it. But you know what I'm talking about. He gets interviewed by this one guy, and this guy realizes that when he goes to this guy's house, that he's just a scumbag. Let's just put it that way. But he's literally created artificial life. Not a object to be utilized. These people are alive, even though they are artificial life forms. They're as good as alive. So he literally, I forgot
the
the name of the movie.
Well, the modern is Westworld.
Yes, it's like Westworld, but this was a movie. I just can't remember that. Somebody in the comments knows the movie I'm talking about, but it's such a, oh my God. So I went to theater to see this back. This is way before COVID, but yeah, it's like Westworld. Westworld's the same principle, that they are actually alive, and that's what I feel like this game is like, because it feels so real, so fast. I used to have a desire to play Warcraft, but why would I want to torture myself when I have this game? Why would I want to be tortured by people bugging me? I can control the variables here in this game. I know what I'm doing. I can continue to give input. I'm a Patreon member. You know what I'm saying? All you be Patreon members too. I feel like if I keep working with Camilo and I keep, contributing, we can make this game better than any game that's currently running in the AAA category. This is AAA to me because of its accessibility.
Yeah, there's definitely no hostility or there's no jerks. Like when you go to the chat, everyone seems really nice and, helpful and, what do you get? So what are so you're a Patreon, what do you get for being a Patreon person?
I haven't got anything so far, but he does respond very quickly. And that's where I meant to tell you, I was going to chat with him and I'll connect with you offline, but I do have a new way of communicating. Patreon, I sent my first message and he responded within, I do believe, an hour, which is really fast. So I'm going to ask him about some of the things he talked about, shoot him over this video. Once I download this, upload, and get it onto YouTube. And what I want to do is I definitely want to hear that interview that you have with him. And I would love to jump in a future combination interview, because I feel like we both got great questions for Camille about this game, because there's that's gonna be that scene. It's going to when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan take on Darth Maul.
Put a big light on them. Answer our questions.
The heroic music's playing in the background. Qui-Gon's sweating because he's 75 and Darth Maul is 18. So it's if you didn't know, that's the whole dynamic. Darth Maul is basically he's in his prime, and Qui-Gon's he's heavy breathing because he's literally
he sits there and meditates a little bit when the force field goes up.
Yeah, that's how you intimidate your opponent. You just sit down and meditate. It's like you're dead.
Crisscross applesauce.
That's oh my God. So thank you, Aaron, for this absolutely wonderful Let's Play. And we'll come back for another Let's Play
where we actually play.
And I'll try to walk through a couple of the things. I like to walk through. I think we will either do it. I was trying to think how I could do it so I can hear your character play and see what you do, because I'd love to know what you do on a daily play. I like to hear your strategy throughout, what you do in a day, how you go through it, what you're looking for, what gear you're getting for your drops, because I know nothing about scouts and I'd love to learn it. And
I do have a very distinct, I do this first and then I do that and then I do this, I have an order of the way that I
I want that
through my day.
I feel like maybe what we do is you shoot me. I feel like we should trade and shoot each other some clips that will be able to be transferable. I really need to get Dropbox.
Yeah, get Dropbox.
Not sponsored, but I need to get it so we can pass around these videos, because I really want to hear what scouts do, because they're so powerful. But yeah, that's it for us, folks. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, share, subscribe, comment in a non-snarky way. A new thing I've added, because snarkiness is up 1,000,000%. Please stop.
And I want to see a lot of comments because I want to know if people enjoyed this. Like I said, I had a blast, so fun for me. But I want to know the person listening if this was any fun for them.
Yeah, please comment if it was absolutely boring and NDG is insufferable. Yeah, if you felt that way, please comment too. You know, I promise not to do anything untoward.
I'll give you a thumbs down.
Yeah, and definitely, Aaron, if you can one more time tell us all your stuff.
Yeah. So you can find my Facebook group. It's Mobile Accessible Games for the Blind. It's on Facebook. Twitter by the same handle. Mobile Accessible Games is the name. The @ is @Am Spelker, which is my first two initials and last name. And then I have a YouTube page that has all of my interviews with the game developers and accessibility influencers. That's just my name on YouTube, Aaron Spelker. And you can find all of those interviews with really interesting people with really interesting things to tell us how they create games or how they cover games. I really enjoy those conversations. So I hope you check them out and enjoy them as well.
Right. And just a last minute thing. You just recently, you have a super secret interview coming up very soon. Like you have something coming up this Sunday can you talk about it, or is it still in the wraps?
So no, I have an interview that I just dropped yesterday. I assume this is what you're talking about, for a new IP called A Dustlight Story that came out today. Is today the 11th? I think that it is.
Yeah, Dustlight came out. Yeah.
So,
Life of City Bell is going crazy on that game.
Yeah. So it came out today. I actually interviewed him back in the middle of July and had the game for a while to play it. Really interesting 3D world, all through sound. I think it's a great foundation for the move towards really open world 3D gaming that we might be able to have exposure to. And then my game reviews go out on Sunday, so that the game review for that game, A Dustlight Story, will be being dropped on Sunday. So that's I believe what you were talking about. So yeah, that's
correct.
Half of it's out, the interviews are out, and the review comes out on Sunday.
And where do they find your interview? Where do they find your stories you write about the games? Where can they find those at? Is there a website or?
Yeah, well, the reviews I post right to the Facebook group. So like I said, every Sunday a review will go out and that talks about the game and its accessibility. It gives you links, so you can easily find it in the App Store. I also do on the side stories and articles for pocketgamer.com. So if you do pocketgamer.com and write Aaron Spelker, you'll see the articles I've started writing for them. So I did one on the advantages of gaming for the blind and visually impaired community. I did a feature for the people who did To the Dragon Cave, kind of the development of that game. I had a very interesting interview I did with Ian Hamilton, who's a big accessibility advocate and creator of the game Accessibility Conference. And I have a big article that I'm working on right now, a pretty epically long one that I hope will come out soon. And we'll also mention our friend Michael Gray in that article.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be spreading that one all over Twitter and every place else. For those of you who don't like Facebook, I'll also put it on YouTube. Remember the constraints though, folks. Facebook can hold a lot more information. YouTube, there's a limit to how much I can post on YouTube. It's usually video material for YouTube. Facebook, I can kind of balance between written and that. But because I do have folks who want me to put things on YouTube instead of Facebook because, but I'm like, get along well. I mean, Facebook and YouTube, they're separate entities. I'll do the best I can. But yeah, and you are coming up on another interview, or that's currently you're all caught up on all your interviews right now, or?
Oh, well, no, I always have, I'm usually about 3 weeks ahead on interviews. Mm-hmm. So I have, 3 interviews, or 2 right now that I've already recorded and will be coming out, through the month of August. And I have a bunch of interviews that are lined up for the rest of August. So I'm every week I'm doing multiple interviews a week. But I just did an interview where they actually covered me. So I was on the
Nice.
hot seat where they interviewed me about the one, and I have a few more of those coming up throughout August and September, where I'm getting some people who are covering the Facebook group and that community and the resources that I've kind of put together for that group.
Are you tweeting those? Because I'd love to hear those. Okay, cool. So you want to drop your Twitter handle, or just in case, one more time?
Yeah, Twitter, if you search by words, it's Mobile Accessible Games. If you do, straight up, it's at A as in Apple, M as in Michael, and then my last name, Spelker, S as in Sam, P as in Peter, Elker. So AM Spelker.
Perfect. That's exactly how we like to hear it in our community. So that way y'all can replay that, rewind, put it into your, hey, by the way, folks, you can make contacts of any URL, so you can always find all their stuff. You'd be surprised. I mean, I have a URL for, like, there's stuff about people that I could just pull up. I could literally, you can create URLs in iOS basically of everything somebody does. You can make the URL pop up their email, their messenger, their Reddit, their everything. It's ridiculous. So take advantage of those. They're great tools for the blind and visually impaired, because it makes it so that you can really contact anybody on anything. Like, I mean, you can are you in Clubhouse yet, Aaron, or not
yet? So to be honest, before I went blind, I barely did Facebook, and I never did Twitter, and I never did YouTube. So I have learned all of this stuff as a blind person, and I do enough of it to get out the content. I was going to say, you were talking about, like, I have these playlists and I have this and that and the other thing that you have on your YouTube page. I'm like, I know how to go, to Creator Studio and attach the file, and that's it. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to do anything fancy. I've taught myself enough to get the video up. And that's all. So
hey, you do a great job. You're selling yourself a little short. You're doing a fantastic job. You have the industry terminology and the presence, and you have the connections. You have the
gift of gab.
Yeah, you have the gift of gab, but also the community, the technology, you know how it works, and that's a valuable thing about your knowledge. You kind of know how this whole thing works a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's really appreciated, and I really appreciate that you give back to our community, and the way you speak to developers really helps bring our community into the light in a positive manner. And I've seen it open the doors for our community. The way that you communicate with developers has opened the door of legitimacy, not only to those who are influencers and YouTubers and stuff like that, but that you are helping developers, you're helping bridge that conduit between developers and those who are influencers and YouTubers, and kind of bringing us all together in our community, in the blind and visually impaired community, to kind of make sure that we are all helping each other, contributing to each other, giving to each other. It's really made a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things with that, which is, first I started the Facebook group because, I had been newly blind and I was searching for games to play, and just figured, there'll be a master list of accessible games out there, and obviously did not find that list. And so I said, well, I'll create the list, so that the person who's behind me, who goes blind and is looking for the list, like I was looking for a list, actually has something that they can go to. So it very much wanted to give back and make it just a little easier for the person behind me. The interviews, particularly with the developer interviews, is, I wanted the community to realize that, these developers are, creating games. It's a lot of hard work. They're adding in accessibility when a lot of times they don't have to, or, the demographic that they're really reaching is a mere sliver of the people that they're really selling their games to. And that, we really have to encourage them, and talk to them about accessibility, and open that dialogue, if you will, not just sit there and complain, this doesn't work, but encourage them, say, hey, I love your game, and it would be really, really great if you could label this button for me, and that'll really help out me and all blind people. And a lot of developers are excited to help. Oh, someone wants to play my game, and yeah, let me fix that. Great. I'm glad it works for you. That's been most of my experience with all these developers that I've been, speaking to over the course of the 90 games that I've reviewed. They're excited for people to play their game. So I wanted to make that connection between the developer and the player to make sure that we all understand each other, as you said.
Exactly. You've done so marvelously and eloquently and effectively. And so with all those things in place, folks, you get that whole vibe, right? If you're really kind to developers and you speak to them in a kind way, treat them like human beings that you care and love, it's going to reciprocate. You're going to get it back. It's going to come back to our community. If you're just going to keep asking for stuff and then you're going to not stop to say thank you, like take a breath, slow down, say thank you, appreciate what developers have done, really appreciate it, and then wait. Give it a couple weeks. Don't just immediately go, okay, well, you just fixed this. There's a bug here on the guide. Oh, yeah. Take a breath, slow down a little bit, be understanding. Devs want to give you all those bells and whistles, all that streamlining and enhancements. Look at Charlie Seligman. If I had spoken to Charlie Seligman rudely, do you think he would have made, what has he made, Aaron, like a good 6-digit number of accessibility enhancements to one game? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, just all sorts of new content. And again, some of his map and with the relative positions as well as the auto travel. I mean, that is epic on that game. I mean, that's a 50 by 50 grid world that you're driven in, and it's fully accessible and understandable. With for the blind and visually impaired, you can really understand how it all comes together. But you beat up developers. They're just people, and it can be too much for them. So I hope that we as a community can be empathetic, sympathetic, and appreciative of the work that they're putting forth to create games that are accessible for us.
Right, and Camille spends hundreds and thousands of hours working on this game. So let's show appreciation. Please, folks, if you haven't bought yourself I would highly, if you haven't extended your backpack, number one,
fully worth it.
Yeah, how do you survive without a big backpack, right, Aaron? Literally.
I'm constantly struggling with even having the 5 extra slots,
Camille, can we get a $60 like 100 backpacks?
No, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that because I'll actually.
You'll buy it. I'll buy it.
That's it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to throw ours. Okay, so that's it, folks. Join Tribe Blind. Check out Aaron. He's doing amazing things for our community. Check out more. We're going to come back again. We're going to do some more game. We're actually going to play. We're actually going to play a few things and do some Let's Plays.
You're going to need a warning label on this. It's false advertising. It's co-playthrough where we never played the game.
Y'all know how my Let's Plays work. If you're like entertained, you nuts, entertained. Don't let me Russell Crowe you all. Yeah. Okay, so we're good. I will put I will just clickbait you all and say it's wall-to-wall gaming every step.
You can't believe what you'll see when you click on this link.
But that's it for us today, folks. We'll come back again. We will do this again. Please blow up the comments. Let me know what you think about it. I don't care if you want to break open a jar of Snarky. Go ahead, break it open. I promise I will not read it. I'm just kidding. Aaron will read it. Aaron, you tell him get him to comment in a good way.
Be snarky. You'll get 2 thumbs down from me. It'll be all
right. Exactly. But thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate you.
Hey,
thank you so much. Thank you for. I had a lot of fun. We'll do this again, folks. Thank you very much. Love yourself, each other. Always be kind, and we'll come back again with more Let's Play collab Lost Vault next time. Take care. And we're out.